One habit that I absolutely recommend doing is to write down your dreams. I've been writing down most of my dreams for the past 4 years, and over time, I have accumulated this library of super weird, super random dreams. And in this video, I am going to be reading a handful of them. So let us begin. I will provide context when needed. The first dream I have selected today is from June 29th, 2023. So this takes place in a random suburb. I am using my phone to navigate to an address to meet up with the movie night squad to watch Twilight or some dumb old friend group is what I mean by movie night squad. Not necessarily old friend group, but anyways. I began walking towards the location and come across a fairly big parking lot with many vending machines. They dispense soda and water. There are countless numbers of them smack dab in this parking lot. They're all turned on as well, somehow. As I continue, I cross paths with this old guy. And in parentheses, I have maybe the dude from the 4th camping trip. So to give context to that, on this 4th camping trip, or maybe, I don't know if I actually got that right, but what I think I'm referring to is this camping trip. We did shrooms, and while we were sitting by the lake, we had like a lakefront view. This random guy came up to us, and like this older gentleman, and he was super nice and everything, and we were just like talking to him, and my one homie carried the conversation, but we were all tweaking on goddamn psilocybin, so it was a really interesting conversation, but I think that's what I'm referring to. So back to the dream. He's very friendly and asks me if I want a vending machine. It's lit up and filled with half-empty soda bottles and crushed up cans. I take it, of course. Why wouldn't I? I start hauling this thing on a dolly to the house. The old guy is very nice. We talk for a while. He's very hyper, very energetic, despite it being late at night. The vending machine lot ends, and I start down a normal sidewalk, which curves around houses and suddenly ends. I look around and I'm surrounded by houses. I look at my phone to see what's up. My homie from the friend group has sent me a snap of the squad doing gangster poses, asking me where I am. My little brother is with another friend not associated with this friend group and is asking me the name of a certain Pokemon because he forgot. I glance at the time and my jaw drops. It's 2 a.m. I am late by 6.5 hours. The old dude follows me, tells me he has to go or something and to enjoy the vending machine. I tell him to have a nice night and he leaves. I start inspecting the houses around me. The one closest has its basement light on. I go back to navigation to see exactly which house the homies are in. My heart stops suddenly. I am staring at my phone. The homies are in a house on the complete other side of the suburbs. Google Maps has lied to me. I begin panicking because I'm so late to the function. I ditch the vending machine and start full sprinting. Houses are in my way, and so I cut through them. Many of these houses have leftover Pizza Hut boxes stacked against them. I know they are not empty, but I keep running. The next house looks familiar. I run towards the backyard, passing more pizza boxes. As I run to the corner of this backyard, I realize it's the backyard of my childhood home, which I no longer live in. The neighbor's house is the same. There's the sandbox and the swing set and the big ass tree. I keep running past it all. I get to the fence. Instead of jumping it, I pull out my phone, want to confirm where I'm going. As I'm doing this, I hear noises from the house close to my location. Someone is coming. And that's where the first dream ends. Dude, I remember, when I read these back, I remember, having them. That's so weird. Anyways, let's move on. This dream takes place July 26th, 2022. So this is an old one. Before I start the dream, I have a line that says, "Okay, dude, this one is sus. Like, really, really sus, so you have been warned." And in hindsight, it was... Anyways, the beginning is a little bit fuzzy, but I am sitting in my chair at my desk at Dad's house. At some point, my homie comes in. I'm not going to name names, obviously, but my homie comes in, but he is not alone. He is with my ex. I believe at first I am shocked at seeing her and try to ignore her presence, though at some point, soon after, we exchange a dialogue. I can't remember it too much, but it was somewhat friendly and joking, though definitely passive-aggressive. I don't know who initiated it, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, we decide to go to the park. It doesn't exist in real life. We just leave. However, my homie has a bong, and with the family in the living room, he has to hide it. What ends up happening is he puts it on a chair in the dining room and goes towards the door in the kitchen. It's a side door, rather. He then appears at the window outside the dining room and looks at me, and I know immediately what to do. I open the window and pass him the bong. No words were exchanged. Here, we were just in sync like that, and us three are on our way. Now, if you knew the layout of my house, this would make sense, but we don't have time to explain that. Just trust. I don't remember the journey there that much. We were just walking down my father's street, and I'm pretty sure there was construction stuff everywhere. They were fixing the roads or something. What I do remember on the way there is mentioning how I've been getting high a lot. This statement was directed towards my ex. I forgot how she replied. Perhaps she was surprised or shocked at my new habit. Eventually, we get there. It's a massive open field, and we just kind of sit down. We're in the open suburbs, and I think there's a line of pine trees not too far from where we are sitting. Anyways, we all sit down, and my homie passes me a bong and a wine glass with a ton of pills floating in the water. The pills are red and blue and shine nicely in the sun. I full send and start chugging the water and all of the pills. It takes a few rounds to get them all down, but I finish it. At some point during my chugging, I handed the bong to my ex. Now this is where things get wacky. Myself in the dream realizes how many pills I've had and imagines becoming zooted, which is an interesting word I use. They're definitely 2022 lingo. I imagine myself so high and messed up that I end up blacking out. And my homie and ex have to drag me home so I can sleep it off, not remembering any of it in the process. Even though this is a hypothetical situation, I imagine, I don't know what happens next. I see my homie taking a hit of the bong at some point, but I'm not sure where that fits in. Yeah, this one was interesting. There is a part 2 to this dream, but I'm not going to include it. Good luck. I guess I didn't realize how early on I started using weed, like 2022. To me, that's like pretty early. Like in my head, the way that I remember it, it was not. I mean, it makes sense, but like, goddamn, man, I don't know. It just kind of puts it into perspective. I'm such a degenerate. I'm off of that shit now. I haven't smoked in a really long time. I don't believe in it anymore. But that's that's whatever. So this one is September 22nd. I don't have a year. This is probably 2024 or 2023, one of the two. Anyways, I am with Sal, and I'm naming this friend because I named him in a previous video. So this is with Sal at my dad's house. We're goofing off doing whatever in the garage. I'm not really sure. Suddenly, my girl is there, my real-life girlfriend that I still have today. Maybe she was there the whole time, but I couldn't say. She starts taking a ton of pills or some sort of drug and starts tweaking the fuck out. She's passed out on the floor, completely unconscious. Sal and I start panicking. Sal dials an ambulance, and we wait for a long-ass time. I remember I carry her out to the street and start pacing around the sidewalk, waiting for this goddamn ambulance. It takes a long-ass time for this thing to show up. My girl is just fented out at this point. Eventually, the ambulance pulls up on the opposite side of the street. The lights aren't even blaring on this thing, like it's not even an emergency to them. I pick up Shoddy and sprint across the street and hand her off. I ask the dude where she will be taken. He responds that there's nothing he can do for me. As they speed off, the ambulance was all gray. I should not have trusted it. The scene shifts now, and I am with my girlfriend's mother. She is sitting on a couch. Now, I don't know where this couch was, but it's oddly familiar. Like, maybe this was my dad's couch or my grandma's couch. I don't know, but I've seen it before. I sit down next to her and slowly but hesitantly break the news about my girl. But the mother is nonchalant about it. Maybe she's only half listening as well. Either way, it seems she's not particularly worried. I respect it. She knows what's up. Nice. I think there's a part of this after where I go to find my girl at the hospital, but I can't remember any more specific details. Wow. Yeah, I do remember this dream. This basically sums it up. Okay, so this dream is very long, but one of the coolest ones I've ever had. This one was from May 20th, 2025. Long story short, I'm in the back rooms and not alone. Endless, pale, sprawling, thin hallways surround me, as irregular as can be. Oftentimes, the ceiling stretches to weird lengths. Sometimes it slants in different directions. Perfectly rectangular holes appear at random, varying in depth. I'm wandering through this maze. Some friends linger nearby. We're all trying to find an exit. Suddenly, I approach where the ground slants down at an extreme angle. It's like a slide. I'm down. I slide down that bitch. The lighting rapidly shifts like an RGB keyboard. Red, blue, green, yellow, and all shades in between pass me by. It's mesmerizing. I reach the bottom and see on the wall in front lies a big red curtain like they have at Broadway shows. As soon as I see it, the curtain's open and I'm met with a beautiful painted portrait of an eye. The colored lighting amplifies its beauty. Eye. We change environments. I somehow got transported to a beautiful open grassland. The sky is bright blue and clear. There are a couple of massive trees around, most in the far distance. The land stretched out infinitely. It was almost like a mixture of spring and autumn. The colors of the trees reflected this, sparkling with the perfect balance of red and orange along with pink and green leaves. I was a tiny speck in this world. Luckily for me, I had an elytra and firework rockets, which is a thing in Minecraft if you didn't know. So I began to fly around this land. It's indescribably beautiful. I spotted close by a massive mesa with a lot of action going on. It seemed mystical. I fly to it and perch on this chill little stone statue. It had 3 evenly placed arches sprawling upwards, connected to another base up ahead. In this little area were some gems which I collected. Nice. There may have been fairies or some other mystical creatures chilling up here, but it's fuzzy. Many beautiful, sparkling lakes and rivers dotted the land, and farther ahead was a big dark cave jutting out with an imposing presence. It looked miles wide. Naturally, I checked it out. By doing so, I disturbed an orc-like creature wielding a spiked wooden club. It chases me away. I fly out of the mesa, but it jumps down and continues giving chase. It definitely had no chance of catching me, though. We transition back to the back rooms. We're so back. The gang and I are exploring, and I find myself alone once again. I discovered a room, maybe twice the length of your average bathroom. On one side of the wider wall is this weird puzzle thing. There's a tiny square door in the top left corner, and on the opposite bottom right corner is an even smaller door that only a mouse could fit through. But they're connected by a thin wire. I turn around to the other wall, and there's a sliding door that reveals a thin but long closet. High above is a shelf, and someone I reach for it. That was a grammatical error. Laying on the shelf is maybe a picture frame, but also an oddly familiar dress that's sprawled out and wrinkled. Weird. I discovered yet another square door that I could probably crawl through. I open it and look in. I see the layout of an industrial warehouse. Metal shelvings is adorned along the sides, and at the far ends is a perfect sphere laying on a little platform. The sphere lights up. It's made of screens entirely, like the one in Las Vegas. It takes on a face with a big blue smile that almost touches its oval eyes of the same color. It looks happy, but that's because the hunt is on. It starts rolling towards me. I'm filled with adrenaline. I yell to everybody who could hear me to run. I sprint out of there. The ball bursts through the walls with an undying force. I am the target, and no attempt to escape would suffice. It's bloodlust. I am the prey, and the prey got decimated. Luckily, respawning was enabled for the stream, and I came back in Grandma's kitchen. Down the stairs to the basement was the entrance to the back rooms, and there was no other place to go besides that. We jump a bit forward in time now. Again, I'm alone, but my siblings are nearby. Looking down a hall, I'm greeted with a shadow tentacle person facing me. Again, I know it's over. This entity was human in shape, but pitch black with sprawling tentacles it could summon out of its arms and chest. It was like Slender Man, but without the static. It gets me as soon as I turn around. We transition scenes once again. This time I am with my girlfriend, and we find ourselves in an amazing city. Massive giant buildings surround us with yellow glowing windows that reveal blurred shapes of people behind. It's late at night, which adds so much to the vibe. We're also about 100 feet in the air, above the bustling city streets below, where cars are passing and people are walking past bright street lamps and traffic signs. I'm on a solid platform, maybe the side of a skyscraper, whereas Shoddy is standing a few feet away but appears to be hovering in the air above the street. She extends her hand and offers me the answer, and I take it. Turns out she isn't hovering, but rather is standing on a solid glass bridge that covers the city. We walk together through the streets. I can't stop looking down and observing all the activity. It's also trippy seeing how high up I am. As we're enjoying each other's company, I get the feeling that something is off. Shoddy is breaking. Flashes of black start projecting off of her, and I realize that this isn't my girl, but rather the shadow person. I fly away with my rockets through the city, but it feels like I'm moving so slow. Shoddy is basically walking and is catching up to me. I'm decently high in the air, but not enough. Shoddy gets me, and I respond back at Grandma's. There was also a brief segment where I saw this massive arch overhead, but it might not have been in the city. But I flew up to it, and there was tons of gems that I collected. We're back for the final time. My siblings, my father, Sal, and my girl are all together and searching for an exit to the back rooms. We find this bigger office room with a big round table in the middle and various chairs and desks scattered against the walls. Shoddy heads off in her own direction, down the hall into another room. She exclaims that she found the exit suddenly. I'm close by, so I rush to see it. She reveals a smaller room with flower pots, sporadically placed in rows on both sides of the room. It makes so much sense. We gotta plant these seeds in these pots, and apparently that's how we get out. Shout out to the real Shoddy for finding the exit. But then I woke up. Yeah, that was a super cool dream, man. Like, just the environment of that place. Damn, like the atmosphere. Okay. We're gonna end on one last one. So this was from December 5th, 2025. I am with my good homie. Not the homie from before, but another one of the good homies. And we're breaking into this preschool room that is just out in the streets, I suppose. The floors and walls are colorful. There's a bunch of toys and big soft shapes that the kids can crash into. There's a staff room that's slightly ajar, so we enter. We see more random toys scattered about, but a line of vapes appears on the floor. Obviously, these were vapes that the kids had and were taken away. Out of curiosity, I pick one up and hit it. It's a full vape. I decide it's mine. It looks sort of like that sketchy cart that Sal had, though it was wider and shorter. The homie that I'm with gets really paranoid after this, so we dip. The back door was unlocked and opened, so we closed up shop for them. Then we brought my dog in. What? He's been outside this whole time. Then I think we left. I don't know. Yeah, this dream was also super weird. But I also remember it. Dude, the comment about the cart, that is also referenced in one of my old videos. I think I put a picture of it on screen. I think it's a really older video. It's like the 45-minute long one if you want to check it out. But goddamn, that story was insane. Like the one from my channel. Watch that. Anyways, I loved the dreams, man. I would highly recommend writing your own down. But yeah, thank you for listening. I'm out of here. Peace.